Hey, greetings and welcome back to another Glasses Kingdom reaction video. We're so happy to see you yet again. You could have been somewhere else, but you chose to be here. And I'm excited to see you. So, today we take another look at one of our favorite Filipino family band. I haven't seen an upload for them in about 3 weeks. Not sure what type of break they're taking or if they're just putting together some new songs or covers, but since I don't see them, I'm going back in their catalog a year ago. So today we look at To Love Somebody. Alright, it's actually one of my favorite songs, and my favorite version of this song was done by a Filipino. Can you believe that? His name is Roland Abante. Yeah. Roland, yeah. He's done my favorite version thus far, but I'm excited to see what these girls and boy and father is going to do with this. All right, so let's dive in without further ado.
Light that never shone on me. I want my life to be to live with you, live with you. There's a way, everybody say, do it in every little thing. What good does it bring if I ain't got you? Ain't got you, baby. You don't know what it's like. Baby, you don't know what it's like to love somebody, the way I love you. Your face again, I know my frame of mind. You ain't got to be so blind. No, I'm blind, so blind. I'm a man. Can't you see what I am? I live and breathe for you. But what good does it do if I ain't got you? Ain't got you, baby. You don't know what it's like. Baby, you don't know what it's like to love somebody, the way I love you. Baby, you don't know what it's like to love somebody, the way I love you. Yeah, you don't know what it's like. Baby, you don't know what it's like to love somebody,
for watching. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you for watching and subscribe our channel FRANZ RHYTHM. Salamat po.
That was a very beautiful rendition of the song. And that was a good surprising element by bringing in the reggae at the end. That was very creative and that was also quite refreshing. Okay, now what I have to say after this might upset a few people. So if you're thin-skinned and if you don't love critique or the harsher critique if you don't love when I critique your artist, which is FRANZ RHYTHM at this moment, now it's time for you to leave. For those who can understand and listen to what somebody have to say before you pass your judgment, then you can fasten your seatbelts. Things are going to get a little bit different here. Before I talk about this, because a lot of people who watches my reaction videos sometimes don't understand, and here's a sad part of sometimes when I react to certain videos and certain artists, sometimes after my reaction I say much more than you see in the upload, and sometimes I have to just use my discretion and delete or cut out some of my critique at the end of my reaction videos, because a lot of people don't understand. They think I am getting at someone for saying what I think about a performance, and people get at me. So sometimes to avoid that confusion and that mess in the comment section, I sometimes go ahead and delete the part that I know people don't understand. Because when I start to speak musically, I cannot lie. You know, I can't say something is beautiful if it is not. I can't say this is right if it is not. Also, another thing is preference. When someone prefer someone, because I've seen these things in the comment section, you know, when people say, oh, I prefer them, or I prefer those people over there, or I prefer them, because I've uploaded videos where there is 3 different artists doing the same song, and people are saying their preference, and other people get mad and be like, you know, don't compare them, you know, everybody is their individual artist, blah blah blah. And what I normally say, everyone have preferences, and everyone, guys, it's okay to love who you want to love, and it's okay to prefer who you want to prefer. It doesn't make one person less than the next. I said in one video some time ago that in every era that I have known the art of music, there is always a rivalry or 2 dominant person rising in every era. I go as far as naming a few of them, such as people like Michael Jackson and Prince. Lots of people think Prince was the better musician. I think Prince was the better musician. But Michael Jackson was the more popular one. Why? It's not because he was better than Prince. It's not because there's a lot of things that goes into him being the more popular one. And so just because he's the more popular one and people love him, it doesn't make Prince a less artist or a less person. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. In Jamaica, there was Bob Marley and there was Peter Tosh. Bob Marley rose to fame, and to this day, Bob Marley is the most popular reggae artist of all time. Peter Tosh was the better musician, in my book. Peter Tosh taught Bob Marley to play the guitar. Just because Bob Marley is the more famous artist, it doesn't make Tosh, less of a person or less of an artist. He's still an excellent performer and artist. It's just that people have their preferences. And I can name so many artists that always had a rivalry during their time. In the time of Elvis Presley, who you think was his rivalry? James Brown? See? In the time of Elton John, who you think was his rivalry, or who was the person who rose to fame in that same time and dominate? I talk about, since I'm talking about the Caribbean and America, let's talk about the Philippines. In the era where Paul Sapira reigned with his band, who you think was his rivalry? Or who was the person who was dominant at that time as well? Jerome Abalos. Some people prefer Paul Sapira as a better musician. Some people think Jerome Abalos' band was the better band. So in every era, you're going to find a rivalry or somebody who will rise to fame, who looks like, who does the same thing that you do as an artist. And some people are going to prefer one and some people are going to prefer the next. It doesn't make one side better than the next. And we as the fans don't need to fight and like, don't compare them. Of course, they are unique in their own ways. They're their own individual artists. And it's okay to prefer one over the next. It's about having your own personal taste and what is connected to you. The way you were raised, let's put it there. The way you were raised, you learn to appreciate certain things. You learn to like certain things or love certain things. And in your lifetime, when those things come along, you can't help but liking it because you were raised on something like that. Also, people can grow on you. Now, I have seen in my comment section, because in recent times, there had been the rise of Mission Souls. And I think FRANZ RHYTHM and Mission Souls is living in close proximity. Probably, I don't remember if it's the same. I think it's the same city. And some people will call Mission Souls the best family band. Some people will call FRANZ RHYTHM the best family band. And it's okay to have your preference. It's okay to feel like FRANZ RHYTHM is the better family band, and it is also okay to feel like Mission Souls is the best family band. See, it doesn't make one better than the next. It's just a preference. And it's okay to say it, to say what you like. Now, someone had asked me in the comment section, which of the bands do I like the most, or which one do I think is the best? And I had said my part. I had said in that particular comment what separate each musician from the other, you know. I didn't go right ahead and say which of the band was the better one, or which one is the best one, or even which one I preferred. Each band have its strength and also weaknesses. And I know that. So for me to compare both bands, I would have to do a whole stream that probably lasts for 2 hours. And I would have to dissect each part that makes up the band as a unit. And I would tell you why this area is stronger in this one and that area is stronger in that one. And if it comes to the test, I would do it. But for now, it's not important for me to do, and it's not necessary for me to decide or tell you why one band might be advanced more than the next, or why one band might have, because both bands or both families have a high point and a low point. And what is one band high point might be the other band low point, vice versa. So I am not doing that. Anyway, I don't even know why I do this right now. But it just came to me and I decided to do it. Anyway, about this song. Probably this is why I do it. Roland still is my favorite version of this particular song. Just because I prefer Roland's version doesn't mean this isn't a very nice version of the song. I love it. FRANZ RHYTHM made it their own. And to add to it, they add a reggae section to it. Now, here's where the hard part come in. If there's nothing that I am a professional in, I am a professional reggae producer and musician. And if I cannot speak about any other genre, I can speak about this genre. And I'm very picky when it comes on to reggae. And foreigners don't really play reggae like Jamaicans, in which the genre was birthed. Now, just because a foreigner don't play reggae music exactly like the Jamaican musicians doesn't mean that it wasn't a good rendition of a song or a good composition. It's just that they've done it their way and they interpret it how they hear it and how they feel it, which is what would happen in this band. Now, if I had approached this cover, if I was to do this cover myself, I would have done it differently. There's a lot of different approaches that I would have taken to it. And believe it or not, as a Jamaican who studied reggae music and who was born in the culture, so probably I didn't even have to study it, I can tell you this. If I upload a version right now, there's a lot of people that would still prefer FRANZ RHYTHM version. And even though mine might come off, okay, this is authentic Jamaican reggae, doesn't mean that you're going to like it. See what I'm saying? You see where I'm going? So, FRANZ RHYTHM, a lot of people who love them will still say their version is the better version. And I cannot blame anybody for saying that. It's your taste. It's what you like. I don't eat pork, but you eat pork and love it. It doesn't mean that pork is bad tasting. It just means that I don't eat it. See? It's about taste. When I was growing up, I didn't eat vegetables. I hated vegetables. You couldn't put vegetable on my plate. It was disgusting green crap on my plate. Bushes and leaves and tomato with the seeds falling out. I didn't like it. So just because I don't like it, it doesn't make it bad for you. You like vegetables? Who does? That's good for you. Years later, I love vegetables now. So you see, sometimes things grow on people. And just because one person dislikes something, it doesn't make it bad for the next person. All right. In this particular presentation, there is two things. I'm not going to say I dislike it. I'm just going to say there are two things that I would do differently. Now, as for Chen, the lead tone at the front of the song, I personally would work on the lead tone. I've had problems with my lead tone for years. I didn't like my own lead tone for years. I struggled because I love when a lead distortion have a certain sound. And I had spoken about this very same problem with the Rio brothers at one point. And people get at me and they beat me to sickness. How dare you? How can you say you don't like his lead tone, blah, blah, blah. So it's not just a FRANZ RHYTHM thing. It's not just a Chen thing. I believe we can work out a good lead distortion sound. I've searched years upon years trying to get my lead tone to sound good. And it took me a very long time. And guess what? At this moment of my life, I am still not totally comfortable or happy with my lead tones. But when I hear a good lead tone, I know it. I know it. So this lead tone, especially in the intro, could have been better. It doesn't mean that anything is wrong with it. Just could have been better. And that's just for my taste. You don't have to agree. It's just my personal taste I'm talking about here. Here's another thing. In Jamaica, this is something that a reggae guitar player, especially if they are Jamaican, here is something that most Jamaican reggae guitar player won't like. When you're playing reggae, you strum. When you strum down. So when you strum down. Oh, please forgive me. I am not a singer. I am terrible at singing. And I don't sing. But this is just an example of showing you what really goes on. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to love somebody. To love somebody. So you strum down. When you're playing ska, you do the upstroke. It's a whole difference. So the velocity of your hand going down and up is different. The beats they are different. So when you strum down, so strumming up, it is still right because you're strumming on the timing, you know. You don't know what it's like. But I'm telling you, a lot of foreigners will strum like that. You will never see, likely you would never see a Jamaican doing an upstroke in a reggae song. You will see them do it. So in ska music, you do the upstroke. In reggae music, you do the downstroke. And sometimes, depending on the organ shuffle or the hi-hat pattern, you do down and up. You know what I mean? I have a reggae song right now. Let me demonstrate for you. So that's downstroke. Here's down and up, and we call it cheque. So that's two different ways. That's two different ways to play the same song. And also there is many other ways, but since this song is about reviewing this particular song and family, then I'm going to leave any guitar playing after this. But anyway, overall, it was a good performance. My favorite parts of this family performance to this song is the harmonies, and Franz definitely have a good voice, and it was perfect for this song. He did justice. He did a very good version of the song, and I enjoyed it. The clean guitar from Chen was perfect, was heaven. It doesn't get better than that. That clean guitar is perfect and cannot get any better. I hope you all stayed until this moment, because you wouldn't have known that I have good things to say about the same guitar and the same guitar player. So the clean tone was very good. Char did very well on the piano, keyboard, and Dodds did very well on the drums, and overall it was a good presentation. Thank you for watching with me, and I know some of you probably are going to still disagree with the many things that I've said, but that's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind disagreement at all. I don't expect everybody to just take what I say and say, yes, it is gospel. I expect some disagreements. I just love when people are respectful with their disagreements. Some people tend to ask me stupid questions like, who are you? Who give you right to judge people? And sometimes I do answer these people who say these things, which is very stupid, because you're asking me who gives me right to critique another person while you are critiquing me in the comments. So who give you right to critique me? That's what I'm saying. It's a general thing for people to have their opinions. I have a platform, so I make my opinions public. Believe it or not, all of you that are watching, you do your own critique too. It's just that nobody hears you. I'm sure when you sit with your wives and your husbands and your kids, you'll be like, what the hell is he doing? I don't like that. What the hell is he saying? He's nonsense. You critique people. It's just that nobody is there to hear what you are saying or how you feel about a particular person. My platform is public, so everybody hears how I think about something. And many times, I don't say exactly everything how I feel. I sometimes leave out the part that I don't agree with and just publish the parts that I agree with. Right? Right. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and until the next time, I'll see you. Be safe.